This is wild. But this was forthcoming. Listen to this. This is a politician. We're in a movement of great extremism. So we need to embrace socialism to defeat the Republicans. Now, we meet here 1799. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a darn thing. And if you're not subscribed, subscribe anyway. Hit that thumbs up too, by the way. Leave a comment down below. Love to hear from you. Just understand something about this socialist and socialism. Socialism breeds communism. And we're going to get into that little part there too eventually. Right now, the Democrats are fighting a war within themselves. I kid you not. Well, they're fighting to every way they can to keep their crazy laws intact with gun laws, magazine limits, banning anything they get their hands on. They're also trying to fight to keep their party alive. And why we should be very, very paying strict attention to what they're doing. Because this is important to us too. They invited socialist governments into their, well, I would say, the Democrat Party platform. They did this. They've been doing this for years. And through this invite, they allowed them to have the freedom to move around, freedom to work within the party itself. Now, many of them are starting to get into office. Many of them are starting to expand into office. And the Democrats are finding themselves a little bit leery about this. But they know that this could be helpful to them because what they want is power. They want to take away our 2A rights. They want to drop down our Constitution. And yes, their socialist monster that they've been working with agrees with them on this. Except there's one problem with this. This is the dangerous part that they're realizing now. People like Mandami and Seattle and all these other states who are getting involved in government, these radical socialists, has got the Democrat Party a little bit wondering what they're going to do now because they're losing ground. While they're battling and trying to take away our Second Amendment rights and our freedoms, the socialists are also on top of them, taking away more of their power and more of their rights away because they want either you're part of us or you're not. It's like a new government, right? In doing so, they created a monster that they thought they could control. Now, this was a big mistake. See, they invited these people in here. They invited them into their party. Now the party is just literally being yanked apart because now some of them, like Warren, Schumer, Jeffries, they're the old guard, but they're trying to adapt to the new socialist system in order to keep themselves in power. But the socialist system has other plans for them. Now they're realizing that slowly but surely they're losing power. While courts, Supreme Court and lower courts, who embrace the Constitution, who will read and comprehend the Constitution. Just like this judge recently, this is a Biden appointed judge, who technically stood with the Constitution, not with the political party. Not from pressure from the political party, but stood with the laws of the Constitution, which is what judges are supposed to do. They're supposed to be neutral. They cannot be politically on one side or politically to the other. That is why the ban on magazine limits, the ban on semi-automatic firearms, such as this popular AR-15 and other variants out there, may hold this time around. But the politicians are going to stop it. Here in New Jersey, they're going to stop it. Because they got some of these people who are not Americans, really, who were brought up in a different world than what we are going to try to fight it. But now where does it fit in with the Democrats? The Democrats have long started to remove the Second Amendment. That's why they had Joe turn out and tell us that no amendment is absolute, which, okay, it's not. And he mocked Jefferson. The tree of liberty needs to be refreshed from time to time from the blood of patriots and tyrants. Democrats realize they have the bottom there. They realize they're not just fighting one section, now they may be fighting a bigger problem. They're also fighting Trump as well. But now this monster they've created is getting bigger, more bolder, making more promises, which the Democrats really they can't keep. As YouTube already writes, you need to watch carefully. November is not far away. These socialist bastards get in there. They're going to be eyeing that Constitution. They're going to be eyeing the Supreme Court. Their belief is to get rid of the Senate. Their belief is to just remove the Supreme Court. You don't need to pack it if we take down the Constitution. No Constitution, no Supreme Court. What do you need that for? Put the three branches of government into one government themselves, so they can elect themselves in office. So don't need people. It is interesting, isn't it? For the bloodthirst for political power, now they have become the victims over their own demise. And yes, they have. They have become their own victims. And it shows it every day. Doing a lot of research into this mess, and I didn't realize that the Democrats were in such a bad disarray with this thing. Oh yes, they got their social media platform bad-mouthing Trump every which way around, showing them how they're flexing their muscles against the 2A groups, the NRA, us, and everybody else. But they ran into this problem. Now they got this monster that's just breathing down their necks. They're just literally breathing down their necks. And they don't realize how dangerous it has become. Is this one party or two different parties? It's two different parties. That's what's happening here. People like Jeffrey Schumer, Renskins, Elizabeth Warren, what's her name? Jackson, or whatever her name is. I can't remember off the top of my list. And then you got AOC, who supports this thing. They support socialism. She wants to run for president, by the way. People better start really watching what they're doing here. Yeah, we may win a few victories here and there. We might even win this whole damn mess and get this thing reversed. But states like Hawaii, New Jersey, Delaware, New York, California, there's 13 other states, are going to fight this thing to tooth and nail. Now, is it good that the Democrats are kind of focused on somehow gaining some type of power away from this socialist? Who knows? But when it comes to these Democrat-controlled states, controlled by Democrats, they don't want you to have rights. They don't want you to have freedom. They don't want you to be able to defend yourself. They don't consider us as citizens. They consider the legals that they're protecting citizens. But even they're running into a problem when you start protesting in these, how we call these buildings, these detaining buildings, whatever, detaining buildings. I'm trying to remember the right name. And now they're getting a stiff opposition and rhetoric from their own party. It goes back and forth. Detention centers, that's what I was trying to remember. Detention centers. And now they run into this problem where they're going to protest detention centers, but now the radicals have gotten more involved in this mess. And now the radicals are pushing for more radicalization, more violence. We're seeing violence against the president and his family every day. This is what socialism does. It promises you everything, grants you nothing. That's a whole new different topic that I'll be working on shortly. But all this surrounds our 2A rights here. Yes, we have courts that are protecting our 2A rights. There are courts out there who are more in the political world than they are in the constitutional world. They act like they don't understand Helen. They act like they can't comprehend Bruin. They can't do this. They don't understand that. So they play the game. Other judges don't play the game. They understand Helen. They understand Bruin. Even by just going through the Constitution and reading the Constitution for what it is, and going back to text edition of history, and going back to other cases that went before the Supreme Court in the day. That's how they make the determinations. Oh, it gets pretty interesting. Well, the AR-15 platform just might be finally being kicked to the side for a change, and our magazine limits will be thrown out the door. These socialists have got a whole different world coming. Their ideology is just remove the Second Amendment altogether. Remove that, now we have no argument. That's what they're trying to think about based on. This socialist nonsense needs to go out the door, because they're going to get more aggressive. They're not going to play games. We need to be vigilant. November's not far away. Till then, keep your friends and family close, and I leave you with this: do not be afraid to defend yourselves, and train regularly. And like I said before, socialism is a dangerous, dangerous thing. It's a monster they created. It's a monster they cannot control now, and it's slowly devouring them. Till then, you take care.